Hi students, have a nice day. This video is the continuation of 10th standard science part 2. The topic name is laws of motion. Let us prove the law of conservation of linear momentum with the following illustration. Here A and B represents two bodies and M1 and M2 represents masses and U1 and U2 represents initial velocity. Let the velocity of the first body be higher than that of second body. After the impact, both of them move along the same straight line with the velocity v1 and v2 respectively. Already we know that Newton's second law, force is equal to mass into acceleration. So acceleration means change in velocity divided by time. So here force on a body B due to A. That means Fb is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2 divided by t. Next, force on a body A due to B. That means Fa is equal to m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by t. By Newton's third law of motion, action of force is equal to reaction of force. That means Fa is equal to minus Fb. So Fa means m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by t is equal to Fb means minus m2 into v2 minus u2 divided by t. Here we need to take this m1 and m2 into the bracket. So we get m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Final momentum is equal to original momentum. Next we learn about rocket propulsion. Propulsion of rockets is based on the law of conservation of linear momentum as well as Newton's third law of motion. Rockets are filled with a fuel, either liquid or solid, in the propellant tank. When the rocket is fired, this fuel is burned and a hot gas is ejected with a high speed from the nozzle of the rocket, producing a huge momentum. To balance this momentum, an equal and opposite reaction force is produced in the combustion chamber, which makes the rocket project forward. While in motion, the mass of the rocket gradually decreases until the fuel is completely burned out. Since there is no external force acting on it, the linear momentum of the system is conserved. The mass of the rocket decreases with altitude, which results in the gradual increases in velocity of the rocket. So, mass decreases, velocity increases. At one stage, it reaches a velocity which is sufficient to just escape from the gravitational pull of the earth. This velocity is called escape velocity. This topic will be discussed in detail in your higher classes. Next we move to Newton's universal law of gravitation. Students, this topic is very important. Listen carefully. This law states that every particle of matter in this universe attracts every other particles with a force. This force is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the center of these masses. The direction of the force acts along the line joining the masses. Law F is equal to G into m1 m2 divided by r squared. Here G is the universal gravitational constant. Its value is 6.674 into 10 power minus 11. Its SI unit is Newton meter square kilogram per minus 2. Next we move to acceleration due to gravity. The velocity of the object keeps changing as it falls down. This change in velocity must be due to the force acting on the object. The acceleration of the body is due to the Earth's gravitational force, so it is called as acceleration due to the gravitational force of the Earth or acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. It represented as small g. Its unit is meter second per minus 2. Its value 9.8 meter second per minus 2. Next we move to relation between small g and capital G. Already we know that force is equal to mass into gravitational constant, and universal law of gravitation force is equal to G capital M small m divided by r square. Combine these two equations, mg is equal to G m by r square. Both sides small m is common, so cancel. So we get small g is equal to capital G capital M divided by r square. Here mass of the earth, that means m, is equal to g r squared by g, that means that's value is 5.972 into 10 power 24 kilogram. Next, r represents radius of the earth. Its value 6378 kilometer, approximately 6400 kilometer. Next, G represents gravitational constants. Its value 6.674 into 10 power minus 11. Next, we move to mass and weight. The definition of mass is the quantity of matter contained in the body. Its SI unit is kilogram. Next, the definition of weight is a body is defined as the gravitational force exerted on it due to the Earth's gravity alone. Its SI unit is Newton. So the formula weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. That means W is equal to m into g. Here g is equal to 9.8 meters second per minus 2 at sea level. Next, the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the moon is 1.625 meters second per minus 2. Next we move to apparent weight. Apparent weight is the weight of the body acquired due to the action of gravity and other external forces on the body. The weight that you feel to possess during up and down motion is not same as your actual weight. Apparent weight is the weight of the body acquired due to the action of gravity and other external forces acting on the body. Let us see different possibilities of the apparent weight or of the person and arise depending on the motion of the lift upwards or downwards, which are given in the tabulation. In this tabulation, R is equal to apparent weight and W means actual weight and G is the acceleration due to gravity and A is the acceleration. First case 1, lift is moving upward, then acceleration R is equal to m into G plus A. That means apparent weight is greater than actual weight. Case 2, lift is moving downward, so apparent weight is equal to m into G minus A. That means apparent weight is lesser than actual weight. Next case 3, lift is at rest. Here A is equal to 0, that means R is equal to W. R is equal to W, apparent weight is equal to actual weight. Next case 4, lift is falling down freely. Here acceleration is equal to acceleration due to gravity. That means A is equal to G. So apparent weight is equal to 0. Next let us see about weightlessness. Whenever a body or a person falls freely under the action of Earth's gravitational force alone, it appears to have zero weight. This state is referred to as weightlessness. Some of us believe that the astronauts in the orbiting space station do not experience the gravitational force of the Earth, so they float. But this is absolutely wrong. Astronauts are floating but falling freely around the Earth due to their huge orbital velocity. Since space station and astronauts have equal acceleration, they are under free fall condition. That means R is equal to 0. Apparent weight is equal to 0. Hence, both the astronauts and the space station are in the state of weightlessness. Thank you, students.